¿La cucaracha?
Una cucaracha pinta, le dijo una colorada, vámonos para mi tierra a pasar la temporada. Una cucaracha pinta, le dijo una colorada, vámonos para mi tierra a pasar la temporada. La cucaracha, ya no puede caminar porque no tiene, porque le falta marihuana.
I'm going to take you to some very strange places, like the haunted island of Xochimilco. The floating gardens are the remnants of the ancient Aztec system of canals and islands that date back to the settlements of 200 BC. This was a huge system of islands built out of mud and reeds on the beds of the lake floor. These islands were used to grow flowers and vegetables, hence the term floating gardens. This was all part of a huge lake called Lake Texcoco. Xochimilco has been continuously fought over because of its proximity to Mexico City and the value of its agricultural production. At many times in Mexican history, it served as the breadbasket for the Aztec armies to Mexico City. In 1987, the floating gardens were recognized by the United Nations as a World Heritage Site. Today, thousands and thousands of tourists go to the floating gardens every year. But like all things, it's not always what it looks like on the surface. I'm going to take you to the far backwoods of these endless canal networks, to the haunted island. The haunted island where legends, superstition, black magic, and voodoo haunt the woods. Let's go beyond the floating gardens to the legend of the Island of the Dolls. We're down here on the floating gardens. This is part of the lake that was originally Lake Texcoco, and they converted it into a lot of little flyways or byways along here. And a lot of people live along here, and they grow flowers, and it's very relaxing. It's a quiet part of Mexico City, so a lot of tourists come down here, and people live along the beaches here. You can easily see the different social classes. Some of the houses are very nice and have elaborate brick walls and everything. And then across the canal from it is a little shanty made out of tin. And these people have lived here for many, many years. And there are hundreds of little canals that people go up and down here. Some of them are tourist drags. Many of them are just where people live. Kids come home from school, they hop on a canal and get back to their house. It's a fascinating place, the floating gardens. We've gone beyond the regular tour of the floating gardens. We've gone kind of in the backwoods where some of the people are hanging out. You have to go through a levee or a dam, and then we get kind of to the more quiet, secretive parts. That's where we find the voodoo medicine and the snake bite people, and some of the criminal element. It's kind of what we're looking for. We like to talk to those people. We like to ask them questions. We like to see what makes them tick, how they work, how they don't work, how the police work. Now we're in the more secluded area of Xochimilco, beyond where tourists go. This part is only accessible from the water. It makes it a prime place to hide criminal activity. There have been recent raids by the federal police lately on some of these houses. They've uncovered marijuana fields growing behind the flower patches. Down here there are miles and miles of canals that have almost no police presence. All these networks of canals make for easy ways to move commerce, both illegal and legal. Marijuana, snake poison, or hide a meth lab. They're moving things the same way they did thousands and thousands of years ago, just a little bit at a time. We got a little nervous about the voodoo, so we thought we should come back and do a little trading with these guys so we can bring them some good medicine, good Indian medicine from the 1820s, and maybe we get a good spell rather than a bad spell. These guys have darts, poisonous darts. It makes you a little nervous. You know what they're using it for. They're hitmen, and if they're not hitmen, the hitmen are buying it here. And they have a snake pit. They're mixing up 2 or 3 different kinds of poison from these water moccasins or whatever the hell they got running around in this water. But they catch the poisonous snakes and they milk them. And they put it on the darts. This place is a scary place. A long time ago, a young girl drowned there. She was playing on the riverbank and she rolled down the hill and drowned in the water. The island became haunted, and few people would dare to go there. Some locals would say they heard the screams at night, the screams of a young child, screams that could be heard throughout Xochimilco. Very few people ventured to the island. Then in the 1950s, a loner by the name of Don Julian Santana moved onto the island. One day he found a lost doll floating in the water. He took the doll and hung it up in a tree on the riverbank, overlooking the water to appease the dead girl's spirit and to protect him from evil. Santana would retrieve more and more dolls from the trash heaps of Mexico City and put more and more dolls in the trees, in the woods, all over the island to protect the girl's spirit and to protect himself from the screams he would hear at night. He began to trade his produce for dolls, and he accumulated more and more dolls for the trees. His shrine grew to more than 1,000 dolls by the year 2000. But in 2001, Don Julian Santana was found dead by his nephew. He drowned in the same canal that had taken that little girl's life so many years before. People say he often spoke of hearing a child's voice calling him into the water at night. Each of these dolls is said to be infused with the spirit of the dead girl. They move and whisper at night. Many of these dolls are missing a limb or the head, and they become the home of spiders and insects. The spiders protect the little girl's spirit. It seems that these dolls are here to haunt future generations for eternity. I wonder if they've got one for me. Maybe with not too many spiders in it. This is where you bring your good luck. This is from the 1820s, the last piece. It's also, but
Okay.
but I give it to you
Yeah.
for goodwill. You know goodwill?
Trueque.
Bueno suerte.
Para muy buena suerte.
Okay.
Sí.
Yeah. I, Rogelio, and you protections.
Protection.
One doll.
Yeah, like the Saint Muerte.
You come on doll.
Yeah.
Any.
Okay. Anyone?
Sí.
Yeah.
Oh man, bonita. What do you think? Which one for protection?
Protection on the spirit and the wall.
Yeah.
Down you. Yeah.
What about this one? This one. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's perfecto.
You come on name.
The name?
You.
Name?
You
Nick.
name.
Me name this? How about
The doll.
Veronica?
Veronica. Okay.
Okay. Gracias, amigo.
Okay.
Bueno.
Come on.
Oh, look at the spider on it. Let's get that spider off it.
Spider. Doll protection on the spider.
Oh, yeah?
And the
Okay.
live.
This give me protection from
Yeah.
malo. See.
And the spirit and the protection.
Go ahead,
You
habla
protection.
español.
Tu protección es la muñeca.
Yeah?
En el mundo,
Sí.
en México, esta muñeca, Verónica, te va a proteger.
Okay, gracias.
Yo te doy muchas gracias. Much thank you.
Sí.
Mr. Mountain, señor de las montañas.
Gracias. Muchas
Mr.
gracias.
Mountain.
Sí.
Bye. Welcome at the Island on the Doors.
Okay.
People on the world.
Nick.
Personas del mundo, bienvenidos a Isla de las Muñecas. Okay?
Okay, gracias.
Our friends.
Okay. Amigos.
Gracias.
Bueno.